We turn now to that huge fire at a historic church in downtown Louisville last night. It still has Broadway closed near Hancock.
As WDRB Scott Reynolds tells us, code inspectors declared an emergency at that property just a week ago. Scott?
Well, Hayden and Gil, I am standing right in the middle of East Broadway at rush hour. It is still shut down. Louisville Fire has one hose across the street here to bring water to the back of the property. When we were here at 1 o'clock this afternoon, 2 trucks were shooting huge streams of fire over the front of this church into the huge area of property that was still smoldering here this afternoon. It should open up pretty soon. It was 7:45 last night when that call came in. Louisville Fire responded and immediately started chopping the plywood off the front of the building to get one person out with no significant injuries. And then they needed more than 60 firefighters here to knock down the huge ball of flames and protect the adjacent buildings. That was the goal. And that's the problem with vacant building fires. The call usually comes later than sooner, and this was not your typical vacant structure fire.
With a church, something like that, especially an older church, you've got a large empty space, so a lot of air, heavy timber construction, so a lot of fuel with that. And that particular church also had a couple of add-ons in the rear, so you also have some other rooms, some more complex areas as well.
St. Paul's German Evangelical was built in 1906. It went on the National Historic Register of Places in 1982. And plans had been filed 4 years ago by the property owner to turn this church site into an 11-story hotel and apartment complex. It would connect to the ever-growing corridor of medical buildings here by Broadway, but this place just sat and sat. In fact, Louisville codes and regulations had come here multiple times, seen homeless encampments, cleaned up the property, and then, as Hayden mentioned, 1 week ago came in that civil violation against the property owner. Clean it up within a week, or you have a $1,000 fine per day staring you in the face. Well, no response. Then the fire last night, and now a much different cleanup operation will take place here. And several questions still remain. What was the actual cause of this fire? Can this historic facade on East Broadway be saved? And what will happen to this building that has sat here empty for so many years? On East Broadway, Scott Reynolds, WDRB News.